Welcome to Wildcat Sports Update. I'm your host, Jim Boyle, and today in studio I have with me the three senior captains of our girls volleyball team at Wilmington High School. I'll introduce around the room. We've got Sabrina Gray, we've got Katherine Hao, and we've got Marisol Shapiro. So let's start with you, Sabrina. Just give us a quick introduction and who you are, how long you played, and what positions you play.
So my name's Sabrina Gray. I'm a senior. I have played volleyball for 4 years. I've played 2 years for club also, and then I will be doing one more this year. And I play a libero this year for high school season, but I have played a setter in the past.
Okay, Katherine, you're next.
Yeah, so I'm Katherine. I've been playing volleyball for 4 years now, and 3 years for club. In the past, I've played as a setter, but this season I'm kind of like an all-around player, but mainly DS, so in the back row.
Okay, as we go on, Marisol, you're up.
I'm Marisol. I've played volleyball for 4 years, 0 for club, and I mainly play right side.
Okay, before I get into the captain's questions, that's a great. What led you to play volleyball, Marisol?
Well, so freshman year, my dad wanted me to play a sport. He didn't really care which one, but he made me do volleyball. And he said if I didn't like it after one season, that I wouldn't have to do it again. But here we are. I really like it.
All right, Katherine, why'd you choose volleyball?
Actually, my friend, she was like, Katherine, you gotta play volleyball, because originally I just didn't want to play anything. I was like, no, high school, I gotta lock in, I gotta do academics. But then I joined, and I just really like the people, you know?
Okay, Sabrina, how about you?
Yeah, I also just wanted to try a new sport. I had played a lot of sports in my past in like elementary school and stuff, but I had never really considered volleyball as a serious sport. But it sounded fun, so I joined it freshman year, and I really liked it.
Okay, it's good to hear why we joined, because all four of you played for 4 years in high school, and some of you didn't play beforehand, and it's a tough sport to get into, I think, without playing club so much. It's great to see that. One of the things that I like bringing in, we've got the three senior captains here. So Marisol, we're going to start with you. What do you see your role as a captain?
Most of the time, I try and be like the most like optimistic. Like I feel like I'm one of the loudest people on and off the bench, and just I try and get people like rowdy and like excited. Even if we're down by like a couple points, maybe a set or two, I'm still like positive about it.
Okay, Katherine, how about you? How do you see your role as a captain?
As a captain, I think it's more of like, as Marisol was saying, like being uplifting, making sure that you have that good attitude that people who are also on varsity, or even like the lower lower levels like JV, they know like, oh, this is how you're supposed to act, like just as a general role model, but also to kind of take charge in like the social aspect of like like banquet, and also what else, like practices,
Team dinners, bus rides.
Team dinners, yeah, bus rides, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, and Sabrina, how about you?
Yeah, like the other two said, same things for all of that, staying optimistic. And I also have taught a lot of the younger girls at like practices, and like some of them I've gotten a lot closer with through like being a captain. I can like be a mentor for them. And I think just showing them that like hard work will get you like really far is really important.
Okay, and I know it's tough to be the third one to get the same question because everybody else answers all the questions, which is awesome. So I'm going to give you the first shot at this. The AD, Dennis Ingram, has started what he's considered called the Captain's Council, and I know all three of you have been to 1 or 2 or 3 meetings. Sabrina, what have you gotten out of that Captain's Council?
Mm-hmm. One thing specifically I've gotten out of it is just we've done a lot of different overviews of phenomenons, kind of. So one of them is, I forget exactly what it was called, but it was kind of just, if you believe in yourself and all of your teammates and coaches believe in you, then you'll perform better. And that's one that I've applied to the court. Like, it's added to the things that I say to my teammates on the court. So sometimes I'll say, I believe in you, you got this. And just like to reassure them, it's kind of something I hit on more this season.
Excellent. Katherine, how about you? Captain's Council, what'd you take away?
Definitely
Besides
like
the free shirts.
Yeah, the free shirts and the bagel world. I really took away the very first lesson, I think, that Mr. Ingram was talking to us about was like about the metaphor of being like an elephant chained down. by like yeah, I took it, but yeah, like being chained down by like only like a tiny chain. And it really is just like talking about how you build yourself this like kind of boundary, and it's up to you to break it and to kind of really just hop over that and, you know, break the glass ceiling.
Okay, Marisol, I know she took yours.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
I feel like definitely to add on to Catherine's, like I definitely, like I looked at kind of like that outlook on don't be an elephant tied down. And I applied that to Wilmington volleyball because I feel like in the past years, we think we can only go so far. We can only beat these teams because we believe that we're better than them. And we see the other teams and we're like, oh, like we can't get to that level. Like we shouldn't really try. And so I really took that to heart to be like, even though we don't think we can, like still have that mindset. If we try hard, we could get to that place.
Okay, so all of you feel like it's been a really good piece of the athletic experience we've had at the high school, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
I see everybody shaking their head like this, so it must be something he's doing well. Marisol, I'm going to go back to you. Team dinners and bus rides, which one do you want to take? As captains, you got a lot of responsibility. I'll give you team dinners. What are team dinners like? How many did you have? What was your favorite one?
I love team dinners, honestly. I think it's a great way for varsity, like everyone on varsity, whether you know each other or not, to get closer. We've had 5, 4, not that many this year, but definitely a substantial amount. I'm biased. My favorite one was mine. My mom made pasta for us and homemade buns, and it was just a really great time.
Okay, and let's go over to my good friend, Katherine. Team dinners, what do you get out of them, or what do you see the rest of the team getting? And what's the takeaway from a captain's perspective?
Other than the great food, I think a takeaway is basically it's just like a huge team bonding moment. You know, it's away from practice, from like the stress of having to be like performing, you know, like the best at like an athletic sport. If you're like worried about something, it's kind of like that social aspect of like, hey, I got your back as a teammate, and just like building upon that kind of feeling, especially since volleyball is such a huge like team sport.
What was your favorite team dinner?
Oh,
Put you on the spot.
Oh my goodness. Like, I think, okay, I could say mine, but I really enjoyed Marisol's. I think that team dinner, it really was like just us being able to really chat it out. And we like to yap, so.
There you go. So, Sabrina, I'm going to switch. You're going to team dinners, you're going to get bus rides.
Okay.
Do all three teams go on the bus together? So who controls are you allowed to have music? Who controls the music? Who's your DJ? And what's the kind of music that you play?
Okay, so on the bus, we can have music, and a junior on our team, Kaylee Quinn, she brings this really huge speaker. It's on wheels, and we just blast music every bus ride. She's usually in control of it because her Bluetooth's connected to it. But it kind of depends on our mood for the day, what we play. Sometimes it's hype music, sometimes it's country, but it's never like super quiet down. I think the only time we had more chill music was on a Saturday morning game because we were all just a little tired. But leaving school, we want to get hyped for our games, so we play exciting music. And on the way back, even from losses, we still will play hype music because we're still just proud of ourselves for how we did.
Now, before we got on the air, you guys telling me the last bus ride, the music kind of changed. Who wants to take that one? Anybody?
Well, I can.
Go get them.
Do you want to?
Okay, yeah, of course.
Okay, Katherine, it's all yours.
I just wanted to, about our like last game, I remember we like planned this out too. Yeah. Like in the like before our game, we were like, okay, so we're gonna make this like this really sad song playlist, and we're gonna bawl on the bus because we already knew we were gonna like cry, and then so we were kind of just like adding songs to it, and then like already from the game, like we were already like, you know, crying and stuff, and then we get on the bus, and it's kind of like, and then with the music, it just kind of like adds another level of like true sadness. But yeah, I also wanted to comment on like when there is truly no quiet moment on the bus, even when Kaylee's like speaker will die,
which it dies a lot.
Yeah, it really
does
not charge that thing. She does not charge it, but she truly like. Well, anyways, but like what I wanted to say was we will kind of sing songs. I don't know. We'll like do karaoke. Like I remember one time, Kaylee's speaker died, and we ended up doing karaoke versions of Bruno Mars's like songs.
It was great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Do we have any karaoke today?
Oh
No.
Oh, no?
I didn't know.
Oh,
that.
okay, that's fine.
could.
We already sang it out.
To look at your team, first of all, what were the goals you guys had set for the team goals? And then after we do that, let's look at the makeup of the team and try to get, I think you had 13 to 16 players on the team and what positions they play. So let's start with you, Marisol. What were the team goals that you set?
So at our first team lunch, which was actually at our coach's house, we had like a list of like hard rules, like these, or like, I don't know what we called them, but it was just like, we should expect all of this to happen. And so it was like not letting balls drop, always like being positive, like don't bring your attitude that you have in your head onto the court, because then that's going to affect other people. I'm trying to think what else. I know we had a long list, but the most important one was don't let the ball drop without trying, because there's really no reason that should happen, because you should always be like running to get the ball.
Did you guys set individual goal, not individual, a team win-loss goal before the season or not? You're shaking your head, Sabrina. I'll let you take that one.
I don't think we did, just because we don't have the best track record of like win and loss goals. I feel like our goal as a team was more to improve and have fun than to like win a lot of games, which made the whole season a lot more enjoyable, I'd say.
Okay, good. So why don't we try to go through the 13 if we can, if everybody can remember. We got 3 people. Each got to take 4. Sabrina, since you're right close, I'm going to give you the easy stuff, and you take the first couple.
Do I just choose 4 people?
Just go 4 people. What the heck?
Okay.
We'll wing it today.
So,
like karaoke for people.
So I'll take my pepper partner, my friend Addie Bolt. She is a freshman, and she did club through middle school, and she's our setter. So she's just like brought a really fun energy to the team. We all have inside jokes with her, and she's definitely super fun. Another person is Paola. I would drive her a lot, so we got to get to know each other really well. She plays outside, and she's improved like a lot this season. I'm really proud of her. Another person is Kate Hayes. She plays a DS, and she's brought a lot of fun energy to our team, and her mom has helped out with the boosters a lot. And then one more person is Maddie Kruger. I'm trying to get one from like every grade.
All right, good.
Yeah. Maddie Kruger is another senior, and she plays middle. And
Oh, well, keep going.
okay. She's brought a lot of fun energy. She's had like super fun team dinners and everything, and I helped to convince her to join because she joined sophomore year. So I'm really happy about that, because I think we're all really happy she's on our team.
Okay, Katherine, next.
Oh,
We're at 7 with you 3 now.
Oh
so-
yeah, okay.
I'm gonna need to bring up the
Yeah, that's what I
I
did.
like forgot.
First one would be Anika Held. She is our, I think she's like, she's kind of all around. She plays DS, as well as like being an amazing outside hitter. And one thing I really admire about her is that she's like the funniest person that I know. One of the funniest people that I know. And she always has a like smile on her face, no matter, you know, how badly we're doing in a game or how like great like we're doing in a game. She's always there. You can always count on her to bring a smile to your face. Another one I would be Vicky Wong. She's also a junior, and so is Anika. Anika's a junior, and yeah, those two, they're like one of the funniest people that I know. So I always like on the court or even off of it, I always like hang out with them, chat with them, because they're like, they can really make me laugh. And then another person would have to be Chloe Straholic. She was one of our swing players this year. So she's a freshman, but she also played club like Addie in middle school, and she's a really great hitter, a really great passer. And you know, it's kind of like hard like to sometimes fit in with people who are older than you, especially on a team where everyone seems to be like already had those years of experience on varsity. But you know, we like I always like drove her around for like team dinners, and she kind of like is someone who like I view to her like she is kind of like one of the people who is going to be like the future of the team, like Addie. And so I think she's a really great player, and she really is going to bloom.
Okay, now to put Marisol on the spot. I know you looked up. Good.
Yeah.
It's good we have our phones handy. Marisol, the remaining whatever numbers, I've lost track.
Oh, all of them. Okay. Maddie Otis. She's another one of our middles. She brings like so much energy to the team on bus rides. I remember when on one of our games after like a half day or whatever, she brought mac and cheese on the bus in her little thermos. She always sleeping on the bus. Like then she brings like that energy like to the court, and it's like always so fun to play with her. Sia Patel. I think she had a knee injury this season, but when she did, and she was a middle / outside.
She was
just
hitter.
middle. Oh
Yeah, hitter.
Oh, just middle hitter. But she had an injury. But when she did get to play, she was a really good and strong player. Kaylee Quinn, she's a junior on Ox. She's an outside, just really powerful hits. Like she definitely brings a lot to this team, and I'm excited to see like what she does next year.
I think that's everybody, right?
Eduarda and Vivian,
Okay.
our
Yes.
other two seniors. I can't forget to shout them out. Eduarda Jacob and Vivian DeBlois. They're like I feel like they're all like they're fundamental like players to the team. Even if like when they're like not on the court, like off the court, they really are able. They're like I want to say like they're the people there to like make you feel better. Like they are always super uplifting. You know, they're one of the most supportive members on the team. So can't forget to shout them out.
Okay, so hopefully we got everybody. I'm going to shift the conversation to the coaching type of thing. I'm the JV baseball coach at Wilmington High School, so I like to ask this question of all the student athletes. It's very simple, not just specifically to Jim Boyle, but to anybody. What advice, Marisol, we're going to start with you. What advice would you give to a high school coach? Just quick, what advice? Not to be long, just real quick.
I feel like your team knows, like to some extent, be a coach, but also be a friend. Like don't feel the need to heavily ingrain like every single mistake into their head, because while they'll definitely need to know like what they're doing wrong, sometimes it's helpful to be like, oh, like just like wash it off. Like definitely for me, last year at Belmont, didn't get a couple hits, one hit off my head, but like I took that energy and I kind of just like laughed about it, and I turned to Coach Molly and I was like, I'll get the next one, like it's okay. So kind of just be able to like laugh with your team.
Okay. Katherine, you're next.
I'd say being able to listen to your players. I think sometimes like players will like their mindsets will heavily affect their game. So when they speak out about how they're feeling or something, I feel like it is important for the coach to listen to them and kind of be like, okay, so like, what are we thinking for next steps? Like, kind of being like a guide of sorts. I don't know if that makes sense.
Sabrina, you're last but not least.
Yeah, I was kind of going to go with the same things they said, but I would just add, like, be a friend, but also keep a professional, relationship with your, like, athletes, because if you get too comfortable with them, then it's going to kind of be too casual going to practice every day. And I feel like a little bit of the competitiveness of the sport goes away, because if you're not, like, striving to make your players better, then it kind of just doesn't hold them accountable for everything.
That's a good answer. I like that. Good, three great answers. Next question is something you learned from the coach, your coach, Molly. An anecdote or whatever it is. Sabrina, you're going to go first here since you went last on the last one.
Okay. Something I learned from Coach Molly was honestly just being a team player in general. Like, I've learned a lot from her to always stay positive and brushing off mistakes, and that, like, I think it's really hard to not harp on every little mistake you make, but she's done a good job to show us that doesn't make you the player you are. The mistakes you make, the highlights you do are what make you the player you are.
Katherine, something you learned from Molly, Coach Molly?
For Coach Molly, she always even like last season too, she always told me something to like make me calm down during games when I felt like I wasn't playing as well as I was, and it was to keep things simple. And I can really like that saying really I apply it to even like places outside of sports. Like just always to make sure like you have to like, you know, just be as simple as possible, and then you can worry about the embellishments. Yeah.
That's an SAT word for me. I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah. But yeah, basically worry about the details later, you know, and then that really helped me perform my best and be confident in myself.
Okay, the shame of you, Marisol. You get to go last here. What's something you learned from Coach Molly?
Definitely what Sabrina said, like you don't need to harp on the mistakes, but also just because you lost a game or lost a set, it doesn't take away from the fact that you still tried really hard. Like I know, especially our away game for Stoneham, we pushed really, really hard and still ended up losing. But at the end of the day, like she was proud of us, we were proud of ourselves, and that was really all that mattered. Because like in our hearts, we knew we won because like we pushed so hard.
That's great. So one of the things is we've got 3 levels of program. We have freshman or 2 JV, A, and B teams in varsity, and we're growing the program. Marisol, I'm going to go with you. You get to go first on this. What would you tell, if I'm the parent of a 5th grade girl, what would you tell me and my daughter about playing volleyball? And what would you make to get me want to be involved?
I think it's one of the most like, I guess like family, like community centered sports. Like out of it, I've gotten like so many friendships, like friends I still have to this day. So I feel like, especially like coming in, like being such a young kid and you're like, oh, like, will they make it in high school? Like, I'm afraid they're going to have no friends, whatever. Getting into a sport, I think, especially volleyball, like that helps a lot. And also like get into clubs. Like even if you don't know if you want to continue doing volleyball, just like there's camps over the summer. There's like different opportunities that you can try to be like, oh, I did this for a week. I really like it. And then you can move on to like other opportunities.
Okay, Katherine, you're on the spot again because you two have the second and third. Just anything you want to add to that or what drove you if you had a question when you were that age?
I really, I guess like the only thing I wanted to highlight was something that Maddie Kruger once told me. She once told me that she's a multi-sport athlete and she plays basketball and track. And she's all over the place, but she once told me, she was like, Katherine, I think volleyball might be like one of my favorite times of the school year because of the community that you really build around. Just like, it's really like, what's the word? It's like clickless. Like there aren't like there aren't any like cliques. It's like, just like you're one huge family really. And that sounds so cliche, but it really is true.
Perfect. Molly? I'm Molly.
Wow.
Sabrina. Okay, scoot the camera. Sabrina, there you go.
I agree with them that it's a very community and family-oriented sport in a way. It might be harder for a 5th grader to get into it just because height is a big thing with the nets, but they do accommodate for the different sizes of nets. So if a parent's worrying about that, they have shorter size nets for the little ones.
Good.
But, sorry.
Let's keep going.
But I think it's just a super fun sport. I always forget that I'm even exercising when I'm playing it. So, like, if you want your kid to be getting exercise but having fun, I think it's one of the best sports for it.
Excellent answer. So now we get to my favorite part of the show is I get to learn a little bit more about each of our senior captains. And the good news is, Sabrina / Molly, you get to go first.
Okay.
Every once in a while, the host screws up a name, and you're lucky it's only happened once today. So I'm going to just ask the list of questions. I want you to answer them, and at the end, we're going to give you a shout out, and you get to look at the camera and shout anybody out that you want. So the first question is former teammate who you learned the most from.
Former teammate who I've learned the most from would definitely be Maria Cummings. She graduated last year, and she played DS Libero. So I got to learn from her as a mentor for that position, but also in so many different aspects. She's kind of helped me grow into the person I am today, socially and like in school and a lot. She's very inspiring.
Okay, what have you learned on the volleyball court that you can translate into the classroom?
One thing I've learned on the court is I think working with other people, because not always are you going to get along with the people. I feel like that's kind of strong. Like, if you're on the court and you might kind of get into a little, like...
Little tiff?
A little tiff, that's a good word. You might get in a little tiff on the court, but you still work past it and, like, you don't hold it against each other. And I feel like that's a really good thing, like, kind of metaphorically. Like, you might disagree with people in real life, but don't let it get past them and, like, still value them for who they are.
Yeah, this is sort of like an SAT vocabulary show for me.
Definitely.
All these big words you guys are using. But Sabrina, other sports or activities that you do at the high school?
I don't do any other sports. Volleyball has been my thing. But I do DECA. I'm in leadership for that. I'm in leadership for SAD, Students Against Destructive Decisions. I also have gotten involved in yearbook club this year, which is super fun because we get to just like make our own yearbook.
That's good.
So I really like it.
What's your favorite moment Wilmington High School volleyball? Top moment for Sabrina? Ever? Oh,
maybe just, I'd say team dinners.
Okay.
Team dinners are just like super fun in general.
Okay. Is there any coaches or people that you want to credit or who have influenced you up to this point?
I definitely give Coach Molly credit. She's done a lot to help us. My freshman year club coach also helped me a lot. I'm sure he's not going to watch this, but Coach Brent, if you're watching, yeah, they helped a lot. And my dad, he's just been a really big supporter for me and helping me get to where I am.
But what number do you wear and why?
I wear number 2 because the number 3 jersey didn't fit me as much as the number 2 jersey. So I just switched to it, but I like it. I think it's a good even number.
And what's your walk-up song? If we're going to, Sabrina Gray, we're going to play something as you run on the court. Do you have one?
Something by Pitbull. Okay. Maybe like Fireball or something.
All right. What are you going to miss the most?
All of my friends. I'm definitely going to miss it because it's just such a community that we build at practice. Like, I would always look forward to going to practice after school because even if I was having a bad day at school, I know I could just get it out at practice.
And as of November 6th, what's the future hold for Sabrina Gray?
I want to go to college. I'm not exactly sure where. Maybe UMass Amherst. Possibly majoring in psychology. I really like that class. I took AP Psych. So maybe that. And then, yeah, I don't think I'm going to play volleyball in college. But
looking to go to college. Perfect.
Yes.
Katherine, you're next on the hot seat.
Oh, dear.
It's not too difficult. Sabrina led the way for you. What former teammate that you learned the most from?
Former teammate, I'd have to say was Mia Vestal. She was a setter for Varsity when I was on, I think, freshman or was it JV on one of those teams. And when I first entered volleyball, like I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I would see like Mia play on court, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should try setter. And then so for like, I think for the first year that I was on Varsity, and then also for a part of JV, I was like a setter. And Mia really, she like taught me basically, well, like she was my inspiration to become a setter. Yeah.
And what have you learned during volleyball on the court that you can translate to the classroom?
Definitely like communication. I feel like that is such a heavy part since like on the court, like when you're playing, you can't be just a one-man team. You have 6 people on there for a reason. So definitely like communication, just like with other team members, making sure you like, you like get everything out that you want, like out in the, oh my goodness. Yeah, but like for group projects and stuff, like just effective communication.
Other sports activities you do at the high school?
I don't play any other sports, but I am class president for the class of 2025, and I'm also on leadership for student council, and also one of the editors with Sabrina Gray for the yearbook, and then also, yeah, That's about
Perfect.
it. Yeah.
Favorite volleyball moment. What is your favorite volleyball moment?
Oh man, I think. I know. One of my favorite moments was. So I'm not a really great diver, but diving is a really big part of volleyball. And during one of the away games for Stoneham, this was when I was on JV with these two, I think. Yeah.
Oh, wasn't it? I think it was last year on Varsity.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
Varsity.
maybe it was on Varsity. Okay. But that makes it even more embarrassing. But I we were having a not a timeout, but it was like something happened with the ref or something. So I was like, my bright mind was like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect time to test out the Stoneham floors and see if they're slippery or not. And you dive and depending on how slippery it is, the further you go. Well, I didn't get that far because when I dove, I ended up flipping over and I did a somersault type of thing.
Excellent.
It's not pretty.
Things that we know. I wish we had video of that. We could show.
We do.
it.
I have a video.
Oh, you have video of that.
I
So
do
if you
have
want
video,
to, maybe we
yeah.
can edit that in if I
Yes.
want.
Oh my gosh, definitely.
Coaches are people you want to influence you or you want to give credit to?
Definitely Coach Molly. I think really when I was starting volleyball and I was looking on Varsity, I was like, oh man, these people are scary. The coach seems really strict and stuff. And then Coach Molly entered, and when I got on Varsity, and I was like, this is not that bad. Coach Molly is super chill, but she's also very determined to make sure that you play the best that you can play. And additional people I want to mention would probably be my old club coaches on MGA, and then also my parents specifically my dad, who tries to come to every game that he can. Okay,
so Katherine, what number do you wear and why?
I wear number 3. I wear number 3 because Sabrina couldn't fit on number 3.
There you go.
So I was
It worked out.
So I was like, I'm gonna steal Sabrina's favorite number because just to be petty. No, but yeah.
Just by dumb luck, you got number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just by
Took it
luck.
from Sabrina, but you got
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
That's a good answer. What's your walk-up song going to be?
I'd have to say, Take a Hint by Victoria.
Oh, that's a good talk about this outside.
We sang it outside of the parking lot. Yeah, but Take a Hint is I don't know. I don't know what it is about Nickelodeon songs, but they just hit.
So good.
I got you.
Especially
So-
Victoria's.
Yeah.
I got you. So what are you going to miss the most?
I think my friends, yeah. And then my friends from this volleyball season, and then also friends from other towns who play volleyball, because I also think a big part of being a part of the volleyball community is seeing people that you played club with or had camps with from other towns and then playing against their teams. So yeah.
Okay, what is the future for Katherine Hao?
I'm gonna go to college, hopefully, knock on wood. But thank you, Marisol. Thank you for knocking on wood. But yeah, and then I want to study astrobiology in college and then go into the industry or research.
I'm not going to ask what astrobiology is.
Yeah.
I'm thinking astrobiology, have biology in space, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty smart here. Marisol, you're next. Former teammate that you credit to that helped you out.
Probably Maddie McCarran. She was very tall middle blocker and hitter. I think she was on Varsity all 4 years, maybe. But I've just always looked up to her metaphorically and, physically.
Another big word. You guys are blowing me out here.
Yeah.
Okay, and something you learned on the court that you can apply to the classroom.
I think definitely at the end of the day, take what you've done and you're accountable for your own faults. And so at the end of the day, you can't really blame anyone else for that. You do your best, try your hardest, and you can only control what you do.
Perfect. Other sports activities you do at the high school?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, I shouldn't have asked that question yet, huh? Set you up for that. What's your favorite volleyball moment?
I feel like I got to go off of Katherine. Last year when we were in the Belmont gym but playing Watertown for their senior night, and I missed hitting 2 balls in a row, and they just came down right in front of me.
Okay. These are great moments. I mean, diving and
She was
missing
just
balls.
like,
It's amazing.
I'm not gonna grab that. I remember that.
All
like
right.
next time.
So who do you go influences, or who do you like to credit? Coaches or people who want to influence you, or you want to credit?
Definitely Coach Molly. And then I'd also say Coach Maddie, who coached us on our JV team.
Okay, what number do you wear and why?
6, just because it was there, honestly. But I've also been lucky that throughout the years I've gone that for all 4 years and I haven't had to switch.
Okay, you get the walk-up song. Last one. What do you got?
Without swears in it, just like something by like.
Oh, I
Kate
don't care if you have swears in it or not. I'm not going to play it. What would you want to play? You're going to hype up and go.
I'd say Welcome to the Rodeo.
Okay, another 3 songs. I have absolutely no idea what these songs are. It must be really old sitting here. What are you going to miss the most?
Probably team dinners and just like being with everyone.
Okay, and what's the future hold for Marisol?
Definitely college. I want to go into psychology and something in law.
Okay, so I've got all information. I like to do the show, do a shout out for everybody. You can shout anybody out you want. I've had a dog shout it out. I've had professional baseball player shout out. You can do anyone you want. We're going to start and go opposite way. So Marisol's going to get to go first. You're going to look right into that camera and give a shout out to anybody you want. Go.
Like names or just like
Names, parents, fathers, mothers, sisters, right there.
Okay. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for always believing in me.
Okay. Katherine, guess what? You're next.
Yay!
Your camera's straight ahead.
Whoa. Sorry, I was looking at that one. I want to shout out my parents and my brother, and then also my volleyball family. They're the sweetest.
Yeah.
Okay, and Sabrina, you get to bring us home. That's your camera. Go.
All right. I'm going to shout out my mom and my dad and my volleyball family, of course, the whole team in general, and also my dog Pebbles, also known as Peb.
Okay, good. Well, it's great to have you guys on the show. You're a very entertaining group, I have to say. I've learned some SAT words. It's been really awesome. I'm going to point you around. Sabrina Gray, Katherine Hao. Yeah. Let's start over. Sabrina Gray, Katherine Hao, Marisol Shapiro. Really, thanks for coming in. It's great to have athletes from Wilmington get the recognition that they deserve. And I know it wasn't the greatest year for you win-loss wise, but it seems like you had a great team, a great coach, and had a lot of fun. So thanks for coming on. And for Wildcat Sports Update, I'm your host, Jim Boyle, and we'll see you on down the road.